Paul was Saul in his former life, a persecutor of the brethren. Moses was a prince of a nation that enslaved the brethren.
Paul, the Moses of the New Testament. Do you see how influential he is? Paul, as much as Moses was, Paul, wrote most of the New Testament, you see. Moses, on the other hand, did not write most of the Old Testament, but he wrote the entirety of the Jewish Torah, which consists of the first 5 books of the Christian Bible. These simple facts in and of themselves showcase the influence that these 2 men had on the current state of accepted Christian writ. We do not owe our belief system to these men, but we really benefit from their inspired words, its awesome scope and depth. Consider this: if Paul and Moses were never to have written their inspiration, the Bible would be much, much smaller in size, but not depth. I am sure as heaven's blessings that God himself would have inspired some other writer, maybe Abraham or Peter, to take up the task and fulfill. I am not an extensive writer like these men, no, but consider my inspired writ. It is of the very definition of inspiration, is it not? I humbly ask you to analyze my explanation of SDA doctrinal truths that I release. Yes, I am a Seventh-day Adventist. I sincerely believe that even Moses or Paul, if they were alive today, would be this as well. Sorry, my fellow Christians who worship on the Catholic Sabbath, but I wholeheartedly disagree with your doctrines. Moses and Paul were not first-day worshipers. Consider this: the biblical Sabbath was in existence long before there ever even was a Jew. Did Adam and Eve worship on Sunday as the day of rest? Some say that the disciples of the New Testament after Jesus' death and resurrection worshipped on Sunday. But listen to this. If I remember correctly, there's a Catholic document in the form of an official statement that states that the mark of their authority is the change of the 7th day of rest to the 1st. Please don't dismiss my religion as legalistic. Here's my definition of that term. Consider this: legalism in my eyes is using the Word of God literally, without common sense or spiritual insight. Jesus died just before Sunset Friday. If his death was the end of that covenant, why did he observe the Sabbath in his death by falling just before it started and then resting during the remainder? He only rose 3 days later, on Sunday. There is no writing of Paul that states Sunday as the day that is covenanted to be the specific day of worship. Isn't it ironic that I call Paul the Moses of the New Testament, and Moses' writ is where the 10 Commandments is located? Here I rest my case for this blessed writer in the Word of God. Thank you.